Welcome back, CNG 256, to another week of vulnerability assessment. The login for the week looked good. Make sure to keep the highest logins for the week during the week. Definitely saving the weekend for maybe wrapping stuff up, posting your discussion, and just kind of winding down from the course, not winding up for the course. I will get to grading the assignments and discussions hopefully by Wednesday. CNG 254 is pretty full, so that might definitely push my time out just a little bit. Or 124, yeah. Course by week. This week we look at sources of information. 5 pages in our chapter to read. If you haven't got your book already, make sure to get to No Starch Press and buy the book from them. Although it isn't available, you do get a PDF copy. The book it was supposed to be printed July, but it looks like it got pushed back to September. So this week we learn how to identify sources of information like asset information. IP addresses, the IP network or the network schema. What else can we learn? OS model. You get a lot of data from just the assets themselves, and this gives the attackers more ways to look at your system. That's why we go clear back to, I guess a front range story would be when we got new servers donated from Larimer County at the Larimer County campus. The backup servers were on a network that we did not know about. So basically, we just started Nmap and just ran through a scan of the entire network address. Of course, we eliminated the A-class IPs, eliminated the B-class IPs. So we started in, we started in Bs, 172s. Yeah, so we started in the private Bs and just started scanning from that range up because we kind of figured that that's what they were possibly be using. And once again, some of the ways to protect, assess vulnerabilities is to think like an attacker and say, okay, if the usual format of a larger corporation is a Class B, starting at the private addresses of 172, excuse me, and that's where we started our search from. We kind of did some pretty good educated guesses, nothing spectacular, and we made it to find finally that server IP address and get the server talking with the backup server. You get a list of hosts using the software we're going to use. Once again, make sure that DICE and Kali are on their own separate networks, or if you run the scanner Nmap, it's going to take a really long time because it's going to be pulling everything from your whole house or whatever network you're on. Make sure you're on your own network doing these labs because you could be very well launch an attack against somebody else's network. So to make sure that those two machines are connected together, vulnerability information, you can see when we run Nmap this week, you're going to see what they're running, what ports are open, or I should say what ports are responding and open. And you're able to see some details in that sense and see if there are any out-of-date things. Exploit data. Of course, we're going to look at that data that we got in the vulnerability information and then see how we can exploit this. Zero-day attacks, holes in, what did I just fix last week? There was a hole in a PBX system, 2014 software patch that wasn't done, and it could not be done at the time. And think about this. This is almost, 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago. We could not update it they could not update it at the time because it would break the system. And then 6 years later, you get the vulnerability message that, hey, these need to be updated. But by now, the PBX system is so old, should it be updated? And that's kind of one of the things we're fighting at work right now is, what's going to happen if we update the system? Is it going to crash everything and all the phones come down? Um, what exactly is that exploit data going to do to us if we update it? Um, and what's going to happen? What's the risk that we're accepting and say, okay, if we don't update this, what's going to happen? Advanced data sources, threat intelligence feeds, proprietary exploits. Once again, zero-day attacks happen same day the software is released to the public. Against, let's see, proprietary, could it be Cisco attacks, Netgear attacks? Popular in the news was the Microsoft exploits, specifically targeting exploits. Maybe like Apple. Network configurations, switches, firewalls, routers, IP schematics. This is why we start to do VLANs. You start separating people, so in case you do have, if you do have a threat get into your system, they only have access or can do specific tasks within that network. Hopefully you guys take CCNA 1, 2, and 3, 4 just to get a little broader idea about VLANing. And then summary, we have some quick little takeaway. HP Network Vulnerability Scanner, CMD DB database, exploit databases. There are many exploit databases out there. Threat intelligence. There's even a few websites out there that devote themselves to telling you the threats currently out there. Exploit kits and network configurations. This week for homework, you have, I can go here, no. You have Lab 2 and Ethics Code Lab. Lab 2, you do a walkthrough through NetDiscover, Nmap, and I believe that's it. Should be a pretty easy lab to do. The ethics lab, I want you to write how you're going to keep yourself professional and ethically good when practicing this material, because once again, it's easy to go to the dark side and become a Sith Lord. It's not very hard with this stuff, really, guys. Make sure you do practice safe and ethical ways to keep yourself out of jail, specifically, and don't get in trouble with this. 300 to 400 words. I think that's we're looking at a page and a half. 3 to 4 principles you're going to hold yourself to. Make sure that these principles resonate with you. Why are they important today, and what will you achieve from yourself from following these principles? Because once again, it's easy just to say, you know what, I want to see what this network's capable of when I'm sitting here at the coffee shop, and that's essentially launching an attack against that network. It can be viewed as launching an attack against that network. With that, have a good week. If you're still working on week 1 stuff, make sure to get it in. Make sure that you are using Google Hangouts and not the WebEx Teams room. I do not have that set up properly yet. Definitely my fault there. I'm new to WebEx Teams. And once again, reach me through Google Hangouts, which allows me to be anywhere that I get VoIP or 4G or 4LTE. Have a good week and talk to you soon.